This is Mac OS Ken.
A rumored reno for Apple's virtual assistant. Apple may have to play by bank rules. And notable films hitting Apple TV Plus this weekend. It is Friday, the 22nd of November, 2024. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Turtle Beach. Level up your game and get 10% off at Turtle Beach with code MacOSKen at turtlebeach.com/MacOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. You know how excited we keep hearing financial analysts get about Apple partnering on generative AI initiatives rather than spending lots of its own money? Yeah, it looks like that's about to change if Bloomberg's Mark Gurman is correct. According to his secret sources, Apple is working to develop a more conversational version of its virtual digital assistant, aiming to catch up with OpenAI's ChatGPT and other voice services. According to Gurman, the new version of Apple's digital assistant uses more advanced large language models, or LLMs, to allow for back-and-forth conversation, said the people who asked not to be identified because they like breathing. The system also can handle more sophisticated requests in a quicker fashion, they said. Yes, I said can handle and uses, both present tense. Gurman says Apple has been testing the upgraded software on iPhones, iPads, and Macs as a separate app, but the technology will ultimately replace the interface that users rely on today. But it will not do that tomorrow, nor the day after. As things stand, the piece says Apple plans to announce the initiative in 2025, making it part of iOS 19 and macOS 16. Like this year's staggered rollout of Apple Intelligence, though, Gurman says updates announced in 2025 are likely to come out piecemeal, with a fully revised Siri not hitting until sometime in 2026. Assuming Gurman is correct, and assuming that what he's heard does not change. Given that Apple is still several months away from announcing the plan, the piece says the timing and features could still shift. From Bloomberg scuttlebutt to Bloomberg law. That second site says the U.S. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or CFPB, is set to supervise Apple and other big tech firms that deal in digital wallets and payment apps. According to the report, the Bureau will now treat those companies more like banks as long as they handle more than 50 million transactions a year conducted in U.S. dollars. CFPB Director Rohit Chopra said in a statement that digital payments have gone from novelty to necessity, and that CFPB oversight must reflect this reality. Speaking for the consumer was Consumer Reports, which said consumers shouldn't have to choose between the convenience of digital payment apps and the safety and security of their money and privacy. The CFPB's new rule will enable the Bureau to protect consumers from unfair practices through regular examinations of digital payment app providers before issues become widespread. Speaking for the FinTechs, Penny Lee, President and CEO of the FinTech lobbying group Financial Technology Association. She calls the new rules deeply flawed, saying that the plan fails to define a market or identify specific risks to consumers, and conflates diverse uses and products into a one-size-fits-all approach. Bloomberg Law says the final rule will take effect 30 days after it's initially published in the Federal Register. The piece does not indicate when that might happen. It also doesn't address how the upcoming change of administration in D.C. might affect the CFPB plans. Apple has announced its annual Black Friday through Cyber Monday event. As usual, no straight-up discounts from the company. Rather, it's buy this thing and get a gift card for something else. It is big lists for small gift cards and small lists for big ones. Mac Rumors runs down the lists, which feature such offerings as a $25 Apple gift card with the purchase of an iPhone SE, either model of AirPods 4, an Apple TV, 2 models of Apple Pencil, some Beats products, and more. A $50 gift card with the purchase of an iPhone 14 or 14 Plus, an iPad 10, an Apple Watch SE, AirPods Pro 2, a HomePod, and a range of Beats products. A $75 Apple gift card with the purchase of an iPhone 15 or 15 Plus, an iPad Air, and or a pair of AirPods Max. A $100 Apple gift card with the purchase of an iPad Pro, a $150 Apple gift card with the purchase of a 13-inch MacBook Air M2, a $175 Apple gift card with the purchase of a 13-inch MacBook Air M3, and a $200 Apple gift card with the purchase of a 15-inch MacBook Air M3. Lots left off that list by Apple. For example, there are no gift card offers for anything in the iPhone 16 line, also no freebies with any of the M4 Macs, and of course, refurbished products are not eligible. As for what is available, the deals aren't terrible if you know that you or somebody else will be spending future money with Apple directly. That said, Mac Rumors points out that buyers can often find better deals through Apple-authorized resellers. For those wanting to buy from the source, though, Apple's Black Friday through Cyber Monday deals will run from next Friday, the 29th of November, through Monday, the 2nd of December. Those can be found in Apple's online store, the Apple Store app, and at actual Apple stores. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, Turtle Beach, helping gamers play their best at every level. All week long I've been telling you about the Stealth 700 headset from Turtle Beach, and it is great. Comfortable fit, great battery life, super sound. Kind of takes your game from something you're doing to something that's happening. Pretty cool, but here's the thing. Turtle Beach doesn't just have amazing headsets. They have every gaming accessory you could ever want, all high quality and all at prices that don't break the bank. From flight and racing simulators to controllers, keyboards, and mice, Turtle Beach really kicks your gaming into gear. The holidays are fast approaching. Whether buying for yourself or that special gamer in your life, get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. For a limited time only, head to turtlebeach.com/macOSKen and use code macOSKen for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off your order at turtlebeach.com/macOSKen with promo code macOSKen. Don't delay. Get the perfect gift now and get it for 10% off with code macOSKen at turtlebeach.com/macOSKen. 'Twas a big week of recognition from Apple for the very recognizable. Earlier this week, Apple shared the most popular podcasts of 2024. Looked through the 9 lists, didn't see anybody I knew personally, found it hard to care. You can scope the Apple Podcast 2024 charts and, oh, well, here's a surprise. That list can be found in Apple Podcasts. Sticking with the names you know, Apple Music has named Billie Eilish its Artist of the Year. A lot of articles made a big deal of the fact that this is her second time winning the award, which I really don't get. Not her winning the award, or even her winning the award twice. I get that. I think she's incredibly talented. Seriously. Now, the part I don't get is making a big deal of the fact that this is her second time getting this award. It is an award that Apple Music just gives out. Like, people decide to whom it should be given. Say what you want about the Apple Podcast lists, they are based on metrics, downloads, listeners. I really do like Billie Eilish. Don't challenge me to name any song, though. I like her when I hear her. Bad Guy. That song gets stuck in my head and will not leave. I mean that in a good way. Anyway, congratulations to Billie Eilish for her continued success. And way to go, Apple Music, for recognizing one of the most recognized and recognizable people in music today. 2 titles of note hitting Apple TV Plus today. After a short run in theaters, Steve McQueen's Blitz is hitting the Cupertino streamer. McQueen was the director of such films as Shame and 12 Years a Slave, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture. According to Apple, Blitz follows the epic journey of George, a 9-year-old boy in World War II London, whose mother Rita sends him to safety in the English countryside. George, defiant and determined to return home to his mom and his grandfather in East London, embarks on an adventure, only to find himself in immense peril while a distraught Rita searches for her missing son. Over on Rotten Tomatoes, critics give the film a decidedly fresh 80% rating. Audiences are not quite as enthusiastic, though they are pleased overall, giving the film a 64% positive rating. Clocking in with a 2-hour runtime, Blitz is available to stream now on Apple TV+. Less of a spectacle, though perhaps more harrowing, the documentary Bread and Roses also hits the Cupertino streamer today. Apple says the doc offers a powerful window into the seismic impact that the fall of Kabul to the Taliban in 2021 had on women's rights and livelihoods. The film follows 3 women in real time as they fight to recover their autonomy. Sarah Mani captures the spirit and resilience of Afghan women through a raw depiction of their harrowing plight. Directed by Mani, the doc counts Jennifer Lawrence among its producers and Malala Yousafzai among its executive producers. No audience score on Rotten Tomatoes for this one. Very few reviews from critics, though the 8 who have written it up were moved. It's got a relatively rare 100% rating from them. Running 1 hour 30 minutes, Bread and Roses is streaming now on Apple TV+. This week on the checklist, brought to you by SecureMac, Apple released a slew of updates this week to fix a couple of 0 days targeting Intel-based Macs. Why did that require updating our iPhones? We'll explore. Also, bad guys in Switzerland are sending malware by mail. Like physical mail. How does that work? And what can we learn? Answers await on checklist number 401, brought to you by SecureMac. Find it today at securemac.com/checklist or wherever you get podcasts. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Turtle Beach. Level up your game and get 10% off with code macOSKen at turtlebeach.com/macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.